Hey everyone, so as promised, here I am with a new recipe. This is a delicious but low carb recipe, and these are my almond flour pancakes. You're gonna love these. Please give them a try, and let's just go ahead and get started. And I'll tell you what I have here in my bowl. And we're just gonna dump everything together just like we do when we make a regular pancake recipe. This is two large eggs that I have in my bowl. What I'm gonna do is just start dumping everything in, and I'll tell you as I go what it is. And of course the full recipe is gonna be on the description box as well. So this is cream cheese, and it's 4 tablespoons of cream cheese, okay? So about 2 ounces if you have a scale and you rather weigh it, it's about 2 ounces, but it's 4 tablespoons. The next thing we're gonna add is a little bit of vanilla extract. And I don't usually measure vanilla, so just about a teaspoon or maybe a little bit more. All right, makes everything delicious. All right, so I have here with me some sweetener, okay? This is, we're trying to keep our sugars low. You can use regular sugar if you'd like, but really, low carb. We are trying to keep down the carbs and the intake of sugar. So this is Truvia, what I'm using here today. If you guys want to use stevia, that's also recommended. You probably need less of it. This is 2 packets, 2 of the little packets of Truvia. So it's about 1.5 teaspoons of the Truvia. Okay, that's what I'm using. Now the next thing I have here is, this is flax meal. Okay, this is flax meal, and it's been powdered. What I do is I buy the golden flax seeds. They're really nice and nutty, and this has got a lot of good things for you. I'm sure you guys already know, a lot of great nutrients, and it's got good fiber as well. So what I have here is 1 tablespoon, and what I do is I buy the flax seeds and then I grind them. Okay, so if you have like a coffee grinder, you can use that, or I just use like my NutriBullet if any of you guys have that, or really high-speed blender. So I put that in there. The other thing we're gonna need is our almond flour. Okay, almond flour, and this is, I'll show you which one I'm using. I'm using blanched almond flour. This is the brand Honeyville. I've used other brands before. This one so far is really my favorite. It's blanched almonds, so they're very, very fine. So it's very, very similar to regular all-purpose flour. Okay, but it's way better for you. So this is 2/3 of a cup, okay, of this. So we're just gonna dump it in there. Sometimes it sticks. I'm gonna dump that in there. So we got our flour, and the only other thing we're gonna need, just like any other pancakes, we're gonna need some baking powder. Okay, and I'm sorry, I already put in the baking powder. I apologize. The 1 teaspoon was the baking powder. This is actually my Truvia right here. That's all right. But again, the measurements are all going to be the recipe. All right, so that's all of our dry ingredients. And then what I have here is 1/3 of a cup of coconut milk, okay? Make sure it's unsweetened if you're watching your carbs or your sugar intake. So this is 1/3 of a cup of coconut milk. And I buy the brand that's any brand at all, just as long as it's unsweetened. Okay, and you can use a canned one if you want. You just have to be careful because a lot of them do have sugar, so you want to watch out for that. So that was 1/3 of a cup. And all we're going to do, if you have an electric mixer, you can do this with an electric mixer, but all I'm going to do is just do it with my handy mixer here. And your cream cheese, you want it to be softened, okay, or at room temperature, to make sure that it that it mixes in really good. And it's really a basic recipe. You can enhance it if you guys want to, if you want to add any flavorings like cinnamon powder or nutmeg. You can probably make it even like chocolatey with some cocoa powder if you want. Just kind of run with your imagination there. But this one is pretty basic, and it's good because it gives you, this is a high fat okay? It's gonna be, you know, cream cheese has fat. If you use another type of milk, you have to, you know, also look at that. Really what I'm, on this recipe, really what I'm watching for is the carb intake, okay, the carbs, and also the sugar, okay? And really there's gonna be about 1.5 grams of carbs per pancake. This makes about 10 pancakes, okay? Now, they're gonna be relatively thin pancakes. If you guys want like a thicker pancake, you can always increase the amount of almond flour in there, or maybe add a little bit of, not too much, maybe about a tablespoon of coconut flour, or even less, because coconut flour is totally different and it absorbs liquid very fast. Okay, so I'm just want to make sure that everything is combined here. And what I have here on my stovetop is, I'm going to turn on my heat, turn on my burner. And what I have here is about a teaspoon of coconut oil. Okay, coconut oil is my preference for the pancakes. This is a non-stick skillet. Make sure it's non-stick. You can use any fat you like to put on the pan, depending on what your preference is. I've also used butter, real butter, you know, like not margarine, but butter. And I try to get the grass-fed kind always. But coconut oil is a really good fat. Okay, so you want to preheat your pan. So I'm going to go ahead and I turned it on about almost, you know, medium high. Okay, so I'm going to let that go for a little bit while I continue to mix, make sure that my batter is good. And it's okay for the batter to sit a little bit, just like with the regular pancakes that you make. You want to sometimes, they say that, you know, the best result is to just let the batter sit a little bit, and that's what you can do here. And if you have an electric mixer, you can use the electric mixer if you want. But I like using my whisk. I'm just whisking, making sure that there's no like big chunks of cream cheese, which if there is a little bit of lumps, there's always going to be. That's quite fun. Okay. All right. And the only flavoring I added to this was vanilla. Okay, because I love vanilla, but again, you can add whatever flavor you want. If you want to use cinnamon, probably just even a little hint of nutmeg would be nice. If you want to make them red, hey, you can make them red. Put in some red food coloring if you'd like. You don't have to. I don't really like artificial coloring, but you know, if you wanted to kind of give it a visual effect, maybe for the kids, you can do that. And so what I'm doing is, depending on the size that you're gonna make. For me, this came out about 10 pancakes. If you make them a little bit smaller, you can probably get maybe 12 pancakes. I just want to show you the ones that I made earlier, just to give you an idea of what they look like. And I like them, you know, this is the size that I like, but again, if you like them bigger, then you'll get less pancakes. But see, so I guess a little bit, just a tiny bit bigger than what they call dollar size pancakes. Okay, and that's what I prefer. So my pan looks like it's ready. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you a few of these. And this is my 1/3 cup measure that I was using for my milk, and you see I don't have it all the way filled, so you probably want to get away with a 1/4 cup. Okay, so you can use your 1/4 cup measure. And here's the first one. I just try to keep them as round as possible, but you know what? Doesn't always happen. Now another thing you can do, and this is just, I mean, you know, just a suggestion if you wanted to make it extra special. Again, you know, if you're watching the sugar intake, I wouldn't do it, but you can. Okay, you can add, it probably wouldn't hurt to add a couple of chocolate chips in here while they're cooking like that. and or even like the white chocolate chips, but the dark chocolate is probably better for you anyways. So I'm gonna do, I could probably do 3 on my pan. It's a big pan. So that's what you want to hear. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle, but when you're making pancakes, you want to make sure you can hear the sizzle when you put them in there, okay? And so these are gonna take a little bit, you know. You want to watch them, of course. If you've made pancakes before, I mean, who hasn't? Yeah, you know, you have to wait until it starts bubbling up in the middle. I can already see a few bubbles on the side, but they're not ready. And these are gonna be, keep in mind, these are gonna be a little bit more fragile than your regular pancakes, but you know, they're not going to be difficult to flip or anything like that, so I wouldn't worry. So I'm just going to bring my heat up a little bit more. And this is, I mean, you know, this is one of the things that I think I miss from being doing the low carb diet, because I mean, who doesn't want to eat bread? You know, pancakes are, I mean, who doesn't want pancakes, especially on a Sunday morning? So you don't have to wait till Sunday morning to have these. You can have these whenever you want. And you see the bubbles, so that means it's doing its thing, okay? Just try to keep the heat to medium high, not too low, not too high, because you don't want them to burn, but I like mine with a little bit of color. And you can see that one's probably almost ready to flip. Let it go maybe a little bit more. I'm just gonna go ahead and flip one in a moment here. Try to do my best, since I'm holding my phone with one hand and working with the other. So I hope you guys really give this a try. I mean, only 1.5 carbs per each one of these. There's like I think I don't know, very, very little sugar, like 0.05 grams of sugar for one of these. So it's really, really, now, as far as what you're gonna eat this with, I'm not a big pancake syrup person, so I probably, you know, won't care that much for the syrup. Just trying to flip this one for you so you can see. There you go. Yay, success. So it's up to you. Again, if you're watching your sugar intake, then you probably want to go for a sugar-free, okay, one, if you can find a good one that you like, or, oops, there you go. Or you can just maybe use some sugar-free, you know, preserve or jam, put it a little bit, maybe a couple of tablespoons of whatever you want to use on the stove with some water to thin it out and use that as your syrup. It's up to you. This is kind of like, you know, just something that you can, a recipe you can build from. But so, as you can see how nice they're pancakes, okay? They're just like regular pancakes, and they taste really, really, really good. Very delicious. So I hope you guys give these a try and enjoy. I mean, what's better than pancakes without having any guilt? So you can have these, I mean, and you can have eggs with this in the morning. You know, just do like a breakfast like you normally would, because again, these are low carbs. You don't have to worry about all the sugar and all the carbs. You can have some bacon or just some scrambled eggs, anything like that you like, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. I'm really proud of it. And you'll probably be seeing some more low carb things, because that's kind of like what we're doing right now, and it is working really well for us. We have a lot more energy, and you know, it's working with losing weight. It's working with us with losing inches. So it's really, really a great thing to do if you guys are trying to lose weight, and you know, and or just if you want to just cut down on carbs and sugar. Okay, so these are fantastic. Please give them a try, and please comment below and let me know how you like the recipe if you make it. Appreciate all you guys, and see you again soon. Bye bye.